Hello, everyone, and welcome to Metro TV. I'm your host, Andy Hoig, publisher and CEO of ALH Publications Metro Magazine. We are here. It's week two of Holiday Extravaganza, 8 weeks of contribution. I'll be interviewing 5 nonprofits for 5 minutes. They'll be telling us about how we can help them over the holiday season and into next year. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, I am here with Kim Kolakowski. She is the Executive Director for Family Inc. Kimberly, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Andy.
So let's just talk about Family Inc. Tell us about your mission and who you serve.
Absolutely, I'd be glad to. Family Inc.'s mission is to empower families to build a strong foundation and healthy future through education, advocacy, support, and community connection. We do this by providing an array of services primarily with families that have children ages 0 to 5 to ensure that the child has the skills, the tools, and the support they need at the earliest stages of their development to have the best chances for success.
And just a quick question. I know you're located in Council Bluffs. Do you serve Council Bluffs and Omaha, or is it Council Bluffs?
We serve actually the entirety of Pottawatomie County. We do not serve on the Omaha side, but we serve the entirety of Pottawatomie County, and then some of our services also extend into Mills County.
Okay. Well, I know you've got some things happening over coming. I mean, there's something in November that's going on, and so let's just talk about that for a little bit, because the community wants to give back and support nonprofits.
That's wonderful. We actually have a few things going on right now. For the month of November, Family Inc. was selected as the charity of choice for the Hy-Vee reusable bag program. So everyone out there doing their holiday grocery shopping, getting ready for the big meals and that sort of stuff, you can purchase a red reusable bag, grocery bag at Hy-Vee for $2.50, and then designate the donation of $1 to go back to Family Inc. And you can do that at any Hy-Vee across the entire region. The other thing that we have going on is that we'll be participating in Giving Tuesday 712.
Yeah, and that's coming up on December 1st. And that's going to be a big day, I know, for so many nonprofits. And so when people give on Giving Tuesday, I mean, how are they supporting, and kind of where's that going, or what, tell us a little bit about that.
That's really exciting, Andy. There's 2 ways that individuals can support us on Giving Tuesday. The project that we are working on right now, which is incredibly exciting, is getting all of the funding that we need for a mobile wellness unit. In this time of COVID, during this pandemic, children, particularly the population that we serve, have had incredible barriers to accessing healthcare and preventative screenings. We provide those screenings, but we've not been able to do so in a safe way. So our plans are to acquire an RV and retrofit that RV with our dental screening chair, our lead testing, our hearing and vision screeners, nutritional assessments, so that we can travel across the entire community, get to those more rural areas, and in a safe and sanitized way, provide the screenings these young children need so that we can make sure they've got supports in place for any areas of delay or developmental concern. So you can contribute, and the funds are going to go to this mobile wellness unit, or you can contribute to our endowment fund through the Pottawatomie County Community Foundation. That's exciting because Pottawatomie County Community Foundation is matching contributions to their endowment funds at 20%.
Wow. Wow, that's big. I did not know that. That's big. So So how can people find you? Where can we go?
You can find Family Inc. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter. We actually have a YouTube channel and LinkedIn. You can find us on LinkedIn, and you can find links to all of that on our website, which is familyia.org. Familyia.org.
Okay. Well, Kimberly, we are actually like right at 5 minutes. So thank you for this conversation, and just encourage everybody to give to Family Inc. You're doing so many wonderful things in your community. So thank you so much.
I appreciate the opportunity. Wishing you happy holidays, Andy.
Happy holidays, Kimberly. Okay. Bye. Well, I am here with Kathy David. She is the media consultant and web developer for the Omaha Public Schools Foundation. Kathy, thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome. I love being with you. Always like to have an opportunity to talk about the foundation.
Well, then let's talk about what is the foundation? Who do you serve? What's the mission of the foundation?
Well, we're the Omaha Public Schools Foundation. So our mission is to serve the students of Omaha Public Schools. And our goal is to just help the teachers and students as much as we can realize their goals, and try to help them be just as successful as they can be day in and day out.
And I'm sure, I mean, as with so many people, but especially the educational system right now, just with the COVID-19 and needing to do things differently. I mean, there's a whole new kind of set of rules and things you need to be thinking about.
Absolutely. That is a real emphasis for us right now, is to help our teachers and students get through this time. And one of the efforts that we made early on was to provide them with over 4,000 masks, face shields, to help them with the protective gear that they have to all have in order to make in-person learning happen. So any way that we can help, we do have a particular donation form where people can donate to help provide these emergency services and so forth.
So important. How many schools are in OPS?
There are, let's see.
I
know I can tell you that we serve over 42 elementary schools in our kids club.
Okay.
That's the other mission of the Omaha Public Schools Foundation is we run the before and after school program for our kiddos in the elementary level.
Yeah.
So that we have good daycare. And of course, you can imagine how challenging that's been in this day and time as well. So we were closed down since last March, but have, right now we're up and running in 42 schools, elementary schools. And that was as of October when the in-person learning returned. So
yeah. Well, and I know Giving Tuesday is coming up on December 1st, and that's so important for probably for every nonprofit. But what are you helping, and as people give to the Omaha Public Schools Foundation, how is that helping you? What is that supporting?
Well, those funds that we hope to raise will go to support the teachers and students in the classroom, providing them with COVID supplies or supplies to combat the COVID virus, also to help with learning materials, especially we emphasize the STEM track, so to help provide those learning materials for them. Several of our high schools, we have 7 high schools currently, have embarked on capital campaigns. We helped Burke High School get their capital campaign up and running, and boy, they've raised almost all of their funds to date.
Wow.
To improve their field and provide extra facilities that will impact all of the student body, not
Yeah.
just, you know, the sports in particular.
Right.
So yeah, all of those funds, we on our donation page, we give donors the opportunity to choose how they want the funds they'd like to donate designated. So that's pretty much all laid out on our website. We have a very active social media campaign going for the Giving Tuesday event coming up. So we're excited about that. And I work together with Crystal Hansen at the foundation on that social media and, you know, getting the word out about our mission.
Yeah. Well, we literally have like 10 seconds left.
Okay.
This interview. I know you have an event coming up April 2021. I will have you back on Metro TV in January or February to talk about that. So
Fantastic. That'll be our Vin, Nebraska event, and we're in the midst of heavy planning right now. So I'd love to come back and talk about it.
Absolutely. Kathy, thank you so much for joining me today, and encourage everybody Tuesday to check out Omaha Public Schools Foundation.
Okay.
Thanks
Thank
again.
you. Thank you so much.
Well, I am here with Lindy Hoyer. She is the Executive Director of the Omaha Children's Museum. Lindy, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Andy. Thanks for asking.
Well, one of my favorite places in all of Omaha is the Omaha Children's Museum. There's always so many wonderful things happening there. Let's just first start off about, you know, what is your mission and who do you serve?
Well, our mission is to engage the imagination and create excitement about learning. And we serve families with young children in Omaha. And it's really, really a unique mission and a unique audience. And we're just thrilled to have Omaha's families to serve.
Yeah. And again, you know, the Omaha Children's Museum is just like this happy place. It's a happy place for people to go to. And I know COVID-19 has totally thrown a wrench into that, and you've really had to look at what you're doing and how you're doing it. And with the holidays coming up, you've always had so many great things for families to do. So let's just kind of talk about, you know, what's going on, and how can people, you know, be involved in the Children's Museum?
Yeah. Well, we are currently open. We're open 5 days a week, Wednesdays through Sunday. We have a limited capacity, so we strongly suggest that people get their tickets in advance online so as not to be turned away at the front desk. We are operating well below our capacity at about 10 to 11% of what our actual building capacity is, in order to maintain things like social distancing and you know, just keep everybody calm in that. We have looked at our traditional holiday events and created virtual opportunities. The one that I'm most excited to tell you about is our Santa's Magic program. We figured out a way to have Santa magically appear virtually within your homes in a very safe way, but to restore kind of the tradition of bringing your children to the museum to sit on Santa's lap. So those are wildly popular, and the demand is very high for those Santa's Magic virtual opportunities.
And I know, I mean, just from watching kind of over the last few months, the Children's Museum, I mean, in my opinion, you've done a really good job of looking at how you can bring the virtual aspect to people of the museum. If they can't get there, or, you know, for whatever reason, rather than not being able to experience the museum, you are bringing it.
Yeah, and that's tricky because we are experientially based, you know, business, and so trying to figure out the meaningful way in which we can virtually and digitally provide some of that same excitement about learning and getting the imaginations going has been a challenge. But fortunately, due to the closure and the pandemic, we've had some time to experiment with that challenge and to get better at it as time has gone on.
Yeah. So let's just talk a little bit. Okay, so you've got the holiday event coming up. Just how can people contribute to you? I mean,
Well, that is the biggest way to support the museum. And even if your family has long ago outgrown the museum,
Mhm.
it's really important that this organization be here for the next generation and the next generation. So simply considering Omaha Children's Museum in your year-end giving. We have a shortfall that we are facing to cap out our year. And so every donation, every roundup from an admission, even if you go online and buy your tickets, if you just round up to the nearest dollar, we will benefit from that, and it will help us close that gap and continue to keep on doing what we can, whether it be open and inviting families in person, or offering better and more variety in our digital presence.
Because typically, how many people come through the museum? Do you have?
Well, we've been averaging over 300,000 visits annually. We've had some years where that's been up to like 325,000. And that's significantly less in 2020.
Yeah,
And, we closed down middle of March, and we were closed through the summer. And usually 2/3 of that 300,000 visitors come during the spring break and the summer season. So, and with that comes a lot of earned revenue that just didn't come in this year. So we are, through no fault of ours, we have some financial challenges ahead.
Yeah. Well, I just want to thank you again, Lindy, for coming on and chatting with me. I love the Omaha Children's Museum.
Well, I love it as well, Andy, and it's worth fighting for, and it's worth your support. So if anybody watching this feels so inclined, we would welcome your support.
Absolutely. All right, Lindy, thank you again, and wishing you a happy holiday season.
Same to you.
Okay,
bye.
Thank you. Bye. Well, I am here with Hannah Smith. She is the Director of Philanthropy with the Crossroads of Western Iowa. Hannah, so great to see you, and thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, let's talk about the mission and who the Crossroads of Western Iowa, who do you serve?
Yes, absolutely. So the mission of Crossroads is to empower individuals with intellectual disabilities, physical disabilities, and individuals living with traumatic brain injuries to actively seek out opportunities for an enhanced quality of life.
Yeah, very important. I mean, your organization does such great work, and I want Project Hope. Project Hope. I wrote that down right before we started recording. Tell me, what is Project Hope?
Yes, I'm so excited to share this with you. So this year, instead of asking for support from our community, we're taking the opportunity to support our community with our new project. And so Project Hope was born because Crossroads is entering into the mental health and behavioral health space. And we see a need in the Omaha Metro and the Southwest Iowa community for mental health support in light of the current pandemic. So we're offering free virtual mental health sessions with world-renowned experts that have been featured on The Today Show, Oprah, Dateline, and more. So it's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that we're able to provide.
How did this come about? I mean,
well, because we are entering the behavioral and mental health space, we've been taking a hard look at what our communities really need along the I-29 corridor in the Omaha metro area. And we saw a need and we wanted to fill it. And thankfully, we've been able to secure some grant funding to allow us to provide this amazing opportunity.
So was this something like, did somebody in your organization come up with this, or was this something already in place that the grant money then provides a service? I'm curious. I have no idea.
Yeah, so we actually met together as a team to discuss what we wanted to do for our community. We had several members of the team together in a brainstorming session, and we were able to come up with this amazing idea, not knowing for sure if we would be able to secure the funding, and thankfully we were. And it's just really taken off from there and become a reality for us. So we're excited for these sessions to begin, and they start in December and they go through January. So we're trying to get the word out and let everyone know. And primarily, we're offering these sessions to individuals who are essential workers and students and adolescents, and also first responders.
Yeah, because I mean, like, we both know, I mean, this year has been unlike any other year, I mean, ever. And mental health is, I mean, what gets you, carries the day and gets you through the day and the year is your mental health. And sometimes, I mean, this has probably been the most challenging for a lot of people, to be able to just maintain that center and that place of peace. And being able to offer something like this is so important. So how do people, I mean, where can people go to find this?
Yes, I'm so glad you asked that. They can go to explorecrossroads.com/Project Hope. And there's tabs there. You can learn more about the project, or if you're an essential worker, you can click on that tab and it'll take you right where you need to go. And I would like to mention that these are interactive sessions. So there will be question and answer opportunities with these, mental health experts. And it's really going to be an engaging experience for those that participate.
Yeah, so important. So any other, we've got just about 30 seconds left. Any other ways that people can support Crossroads of Western Iowa, I mean, over the season as we kind of get through the end of the year?
Yes, absolutely. You can always go to our website, explorecrossroads.com, and hit the donate tab. We are always appreciative of that. And really spread the word. If you know essential workers and students that might really need this lift and this opportunity, share that with them and let them know that they can go to our website and get registered and take part in this.
All right. Well, Hannah, thank you so much. It's great to learn more about Crossroads of Western Iowa. Wonderful to learn about Project Hope. So just excited, and thank you, and thank your organization for doing this for our communities. So
thank you so much, Andy.
You're welcome. All right. We'll be right back. Well, I am here with Adriel Griffin. She is the Chief Marketing and Development Officer for Completely Kids. Adriel, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Andy. It's great to just see you and chat with you for a little while.
It's great to see you too. Well, let's just start off. Let's tell us the mission of Completely Kids and who you serve.
Sure. So our mission at Completely Kids is to educate and empower kids and families to create a safe, healthy, successful, and connected community. So those are kind of the things that when we're thinking about what we want our communities to look like, the neighborhoods that we live in, that's what we want out of those. So that's what we've developed for our mission. So what Completely Kids does is our primary focus is that we're an after-school program. Mm-hmm. But with that, we do family services. So our belief is that in order for a child to be successful, the parents also have to be able to have the skills and the resources to help their own families. And so that looks like adult education classes, connecting them to other resources in the community, mental health services for both the kids and the families. And then in addition to just the after school services with providers and field trips and things like that, making sure that the kids are fed, that they have access to healthy food and nutrition. And so we have our weekend food program as well. As you can imagine, a lot of that looks very different right now with COVID.
Yes, absolutely. Well, one of the reasons for this conversation is as we're, getting into the holiday season, I just wanted to talk about kind of what's going on. How can people contribute back to you, between now and the end of the year?
Sure. So I would say there's a couple things that are going on right now. One of it is our holiday gift drive. So even though right now our kids, so we're actually sort of serving a more limited number of kids because of some of the direct health measures that are in place.
Sure.
So while we are doing in-person programming for our students, they are in two different groups during the
Okay.
week based on OPS. And so that it just looks like a very different model.
Yeah.
But with our holiday gift drive, we want to make sure that they still get those gifts that some of them wouldn't maybe receive a gift if it weren't for Completely Kids. And so we are currently filling sponsorship needs for those. I think those are getting really close to being full.
And what does that mean? What is sponsorship?
Yeah,
What does that
so
mean?
basically we just look for individuals, companies to take on some of those kids to purchase a gift for every child in our program. And we made the commitment several years ago that that wasn't just going to be some generic popular gift, that we
Mhm.
ask our kids for 3 items that are on their wish list, and then we send those to that sponsor, and then they're able to fulfill that gift item. We ask that they spend no more than $25, so it's not a huge commitment.
Sure.
But it's a really good thing to feel good at the holidays, and it makes the kids' days. It just really brightens their days.
Yeah.
So we have
So,
that. Yeah,
so I
go ahead.
want to ask one question. So I could connect with you via your website and say, I want to sponsor a child, or I want to,
Yes,
and then you'll let me know 3 items and I just pick one of the 3.
correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So you could, pick one of the 3, or let's say, I know one of the requests that we get a lot of is, it's funny, it's hot Takis, which are just like the hot chips that the kids
Okay.
love. So, that's not going to be a $25 gift. So maybe it's hot Takis and a gift card,
Okay.
or maybe
Got it.
it's
Yep.
a whole box of hot Takis, whatever it is. But
Okay.
the kids are hilarious sometimes in what they request, and sometimes it's so simple. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Okay.
I know we're getting really close to being full on those sponsors, but then we do have an adopt a family. So we've identified some of our in need families. I mean, all of our families are in need, but some of our families that are in greatest need.
Yeah.
And so basically that's a little bit more of a commitment. So they still send those wish list items, but then there's also looking at maybe some things that the family needs. So whether it's groceries or getting them a gift card for groceries or household items. So again, that's the same way, contacting us, saying, I'm interested in adopting a family,
Okay.
and then we'll determine, what you can do financially, or how many kids, adults you want to sponsor, and we'll match you with a family.
Sure.
So we do have some of those as well.
Okay. Okay. Well, our 5 minutes is up, but those are 2 great ways to support Completely Kids. Website completelykids.org, and encourage everybody to hop on there and reach out to you, because they can reach out to you through the website, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
They can.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Well, Adriel, thank you so much for joining me today, and it's great to
Absolutely.
see you. And
Thank you. Thanks
holidays.
for having me, Andy. Yes. Happy holidays to you as well.
Yep,
Thanks.
you're welcome. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you back here next week, where I'll be interviewing 5 more nonprofits for 5 minutes. And again, as we enter the holiday season, look for ways how you can contribute back to your favorite nonprofits. So I will see you back here next week.